everybody. Woo! Wow, such a warm, unplanned welcome. So welcome to our first regular mission of the year, Brain Blast to the Past. I am one of your hosts for this evening. Wow! And also the person who reads the announcements. So anyone who remembers last year, I always start by asking for your money, very politely. So we do have memberships available. So for $10, you can get your Star membership, which is going to get you discounts on things that we do throughout the rest of the year, along with all sorts of cool perks, like those cool IDs that maybe some of you have seen people used to sign in with. They're pretty personalized. You can get a bunch of different colors and stuff. So you get that for $10. You also get discounts on things like T-shirts and the events that we run throughout the year, and a couple of other member benefits. We also are selling sodas. We've got them in the fridge. They've been running for a while there, so it'll be nice and chilled. What do we have available today? All right, let's take a peek inside of our Star fridge. Today we are serving
a couple Dr. Peppers, like Pepsi, a lot of Pepsi, a lot of Sprite, and I think there's like a Cherry Coke Zero.
One Cherry Coke Zero for one lucky patron here today. So those sodas are $1. We accept Tiger Bucks as well for those. There is a 25-cent charge for Tiger Bucks for non-members, just because of the reader. But for members, we waive that fee for you guys. We also have shirts. Those are $15. Usually, is anybody wearing their Star shirt today? In the back. Wow. Give us a twirl. Show us all of the sides of that beautiful Star shirt. Oh wow! Wow! Absolutely stunning. And a shirt very similar to that one, but not identical to that one because that might be a little bit smelly. I don't know how often does this laundry. You can get that shirt for $15 or $10 if you're a member, which means that we have a special deal with one $20 bill. You can get both a membership and a shirt. Wow, how convenient is that? It's like we planned it. So for the committees that we have going on this week, first of all, we have the PR committee. This is a great committee. It's how I got started with Star, how I got a little bit more involved with the club. Our comms officer also got started that way, and a lot of other people really get involved through there. We're actually specifically looking for freshmen for that because their insight is actually really useful because we're trying to reach people who have never heard of the club before, and freshmen have never heard of our club before. So your insight is very useful, and if you want to help us out with that, we meet from 8 to 10 p.m. on Wednesdays. We will be meeting in the Fireside Lounge, which is like right out there over the balcony. Take the stairs, don't jump. So yes, we absolutely need some freshmen on that one. We need your insight, we need your opinions, we need your beautiful face to anoint the room. We also have the Webmaster Committee, which is basically the committee that runs our website that we have. They install new features, and they brainstorm and do all sorts of cool things, and that looks really nice on a resume. So any web development people or computer science people or anyone who just enjoys it as a hobby or would like to learn more, you can, the first meeting of the semester will be on September 17th. You can check out webmasters.ritstar.com for more information or join website, the area on our Slack. For any of you who don't know, we have our own Slack at ritstar.slack.com, open to anyone, members and non-members. We have a bunch of different channels for a bunch of different sci-fi stuff. And a lot of people are really active in the various communities, and they post news pretty much as it breaks. So it's a great way to stay on top of things that you're maybe not super invested in, but still curious about. Also, a special thanks to FoodShare for helping us run our Starbecue, which was last Friday. I see a lot of people there from that. So I'm glad to see you all here, and I'm glad that our delicious free food was not for waste. Ava, can you talk about the Strong Museum for us?
I can. So the Strong Museum in November is going to do a sci-fi weekend. It's called In Another Galaxy, and they're looking for people to volunteer as characters to walk around, talk to guests, give directions, that kind of stuff. If that is something you would be interested in, we have form up both on the Slack. It's in the email. We're going to send it out in the email again this week. But please fill out that form or talk to me because I've done it before. I was Miss Frizzle at the Strong Museum last summer. It was amazing. I highly recommend doing this. It's super fun. Don't have transportation. I have car, and so does he, and we will drive places.
Hey, but what type of characters do they want you to do?
They really want sci-fi themed characters. I'm sorry, I didn't understand what you said. Mhm. But yeah,
Also, the 501st is going to be there as well. For
Yeah,
anyone who follows the Star Wars cosplay community.
Will they supply costumes or?
no, you would have to acquire your own costume. If you have one, awesome. If you don't, a lot of people here have them. Like I have 2 Starfleet uniforms. And if someone really wants to come, but they don't have a costume, and they can fit into a Ava-sized Starfleet uniform, you're welcome to borrow it. But yeah, they're looking for more like space-related sci-fi, so maybe not really superheroes, because they do a superhero thing at a different point in the year. But yeah, if you are interested, please let me know or fill out the form.
You will be interacting with kids, so
Yes. And
no like disgusting, like bloody Mad Max cosplays. or
yeah,
anything
that's
like that.
Are
some.
you looking at me?
Honestly, Miss Frizzle spooked some of them, but like, it's a good time. Yes.
Like help in making a costume, either join the Slack's costumes department Slack channel, or go to Cosplay Troop on Fridays.
Yeah, Cosplay Troop. They do awesome stuff. They do workshops where you can learn how to do like specific things. Like they did a EVA foam workshop last year, and that was really cool. I built part of my Mad Max costume there. It was neat. But they are very helpful and super nice. They meet on Fridays. They have posters up everywhere, and their posters are like really nice. And that gives the location and times because I don't have them off the top of my
Friday
head.
night, second floor of Gosnell, which is College of Science.
But yeah, they're super nice. Okay.
Last but not least, we are very happy to announce that this year we will be accepting donations on behalf of the International Bipolar Foundation in honor of Carrie Fisher. She just passed away last year, and we are all, we wanted to do something in her honor because she was so pivotal to really like the sci-fi genre as a whole, in modern, the way that we see it today. And she was very open and active about the fact that she had, that she was bipolar.
Word art.
All right, I am Cameron Davis.
And I am Ava Enoch.
We are your captain and first officer. We are proud to present to you a trip to the past. So yeah, basically the format of this mission is we're going to basically present to you with a sci-fi themed cartoon from the late 90s, early 2000s. We're going to play the intro to it, and we're going to go into just a couple of images and talk about why it's super cool / why it's sci-fi.
Yeah. So like, hey, remember that time? Yes. Yes, we do. And we're going to talk about it, like a bunch, over and over, tonight. It's going to be good. You guys remember the Powerpuff Girls? And they were like super cool,
Yeah.
So cool.
Like not trying to be super cool.
But remember the theme song? You will soon. You gotta click it. It's okay, you can do it.
I read the time travel episode.
And every midnight, these were the ingredients chosen to create the perfect little girl. Chemical X. Thus, the Powerpuff Girls were born, using their ultra superpowers, blossom, bubble, and thunderstorm, and dedicated their lives to fighting crime and the forces of evil.
new blood in that. I didn't remember that until I watched it yesterday.
They also have a cross.
Let's go to the next slide.
Click the arrow, Julio. Julio, the
Okay, so the Powerpuff Girls was like super sci-fi. They're created with science and maybe cooking with. But like, they're super cool. They're giant robots. And also, Mojo Jojo was very sci-fi. A lot of their villains were sci-fi, but also like, maybe not. Like they had.
The cross-dressing devil.
Yeah.
Lobster Plus.
I saw some guy cosplaying him at TorCon my freshman year. It was awesome. But yeah, I think they went to space as well, and more giant robots, but it was hella sci-fi. And I really enjoyed it.
I liked how they made a movie they explained about Joe's origin story.
Oh my gosh.
And
Yeah.
how he's basically the art enemy. Okay.
Spoilers
This
is that
is gonna be a
like.
pretty spoiler heavy mission, all things considered.
I'm sorry, I just realized it's like spoilers. Wait.
For something that came out 20 years ago.
Not 20 years ago. It started in, I know how old this is. I thought it was 96.
1998.
Somebody look it up, it's not on smartphone.
Yeah.
My
It's gonna be a
Wi-Fi sucks
smartphone
right now.
heavy mission, because you think of something, you look it up. Yes, Ryan?
Correct me if I was wrong, but every single one. Is it just like evil Winston?
Oh wait, Overwatch? Like he's green though.
No, wasn't he an experiment?
No, we don't
No.
know. It was an accident. He was a lab monkey that he was using the chemicals on.
Yeah.
The dog was
That's what I
using
did.
accidentally got chemical X on himself.
94?
That's not.
Okay, it's older than almost everyone in this room.
No, it's basically that's why.
I hope there's no one here born in
They made an official debut.
There's him.
All of us cartoon on November 18th, 1998.
98.
Oh, neat. So it's been around for a while. But yeah, Powerpuff Girls. Cool beans. Hey, Julio, can we get the next slide? Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Can we sing along to this one?
Yeah.
Please sing along to anyone you
Yeah, these are fun. This is a fun time.
Julio.
Hey, Julio?
Hit the button.
Be nice to him.
But it's the best one.
All the leather crunk.
Oh, good. Really loud. Julio. It got angry. Yay! So Danny Phantom was like super sci-fi.
Yeah, I mean, like, he was created with his parents who are super cool and, like, sci-fi people. Like, they're like Ghostbusters.
But they suck at it.
Okay, it's the Ghostbusters if their actual son was a ghost and they missed it.
Okay, for sucking at it, they sure had a lot of tech that worked when their backs were turned.
Which is weird. So they had the theory down.
They were just a little iffy on the practice.
Yeah.
Very iffy on the practice.
You know, like compared to all of the other ghost hunters, they were the best. Like the guys in Light,
Oh my god.
the extreme.
They were like kind of scary sometimes though.
They were scary at the beginning, and then you found out that they weren't.
They're-
Like most enemies in children's cartoons.
Seems legit.
And then there was that one episode where they were super bad future because they
Oh my gosh.
on like the career test or something.
Yeah. 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 That's a dumb reason to have like a horrible future. Those don't matter.
How do you know on that?
He was pretty searched on all of Earth, no?
But also, remember the Christmas one where they had to.
Big rhyme?
Yes.
I freaking love that
And he
one.
picked up an orange and saved the day.
Yeah.
That's those episodes. They did that in Arthur too.
How about the VR or how the virtual reality headset episode, no?
Oh, yeah.
I remember that. One
Yeah.
where his mother,
Yeah.
friend basically used cheat codes the entire time.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, no, I always thought it was really cool that even though he was like a superhero and like, you know, he had all like the ghost powers, he like still relied on like stealing his parents' tech to always like save the day at the end of it, you know, like the Benton thermos. That's like, I can promise you who invented the one that's shaped like a thing for holding soup. So yeah, it was pretty cool, like, that his parents were like accidentally kick-ass.
Occasionally.
I'm just wondering where all the money for this shit came from.
Yeah, they're really highlights words.
Yeah, he lived in a pretty nice house.
Also, they make all this sense.
did. Look, they have a tank.
I thought the
They had a military.
Well, wait,
He had a flying car.
No, so I bet that like they take credit for all of the ghosts that Danny busts. They're like, we did it, pay up. Because like this world is infested with ghosts like all like once per episode.
Yeah, because they come through the thing they made.
Shush.
It's like they're on the Hellmouth, but like
Oh my
actually, because
Wait,
It's the opposite of Ghostbusters.
The story though.
what?
Is in second half of the story, the ghosts actually started messing around with like government official buildings and secret stuff and top secret military sites. So they actually did explain they were getting government contracts in the second half of the season because they were the only ones who actually knew how to repel them, which is ridiculous, which is entirely absurd, no? By the way, which is so
Mark
funny.
knows how to though.
But they did build their own hellhouse.
Yeah. Goodness.
They're the opposite of the Ghostbusters because, as opposed to the Ghostbusters, they didn't start when ghosts started appearing. They started because they made ghosts appear.
That's called capitalism. Create a problem, then solve it.
That's right. They planned this all from the beginning. We can't fight the ghost. We'll make our son a ghost to fight hard for us and get paid for it.
And then we'll play dumb so he doesn't realize he'll do the work for us.
Genius.
We were all playing fools the whole time. Who's the fool? The fool or the one who laughs at the fool?
I like how the first episode of the series was not funny and lunch lady, you know?
The box ghost is the greatest.
The box
thing.
ghost.
Oh god.
Oh, jeez.
Animation
That's the
has not aged
namesake
well.
of our presentation.
This existed.
I like the king of
I like the nosy
ghost. My favorite ghost.
Okay.
Is it still cool if it outright states that that's the theme song of the show?
This is what I was thinking, is that the animation has not aged well, but that theme song is a banger. Yes, just keep advancing. There's a lot of sci-fi, and like everything is sci-fi. Robots!
He made a black hole.
Yes, this is definitely like the hardest sci-fi of like all of the cartoons because every episode revolved around Jimmy inventing something and going horribly wrong and him fixing it / inventing another thing.
What about Did you just prove Neutron is alternate Wesley Crusher?
What?
Oh my god.
Jimmy Neutron is Wesley Crusher.
But they have Coral Weezer.
But he makes episode plots happen because he invented something that causes a problem that we need to spend an episode fixing.
But sometimes other people break the thing that he made because they didn't use it right, and then it's user error, but then it's catastrophic because That's how it
I
goes.
also like how they decided
I forgot.
in space.
You forget about Robot
No,
2.
no, I forgot about the invasion of the pants.
Jesus
First
Christ!
episode.
There was an army of pants invading their town.
That's terrifying.
But also, they ended up all just being generic blue jeans, even though they were all wearing different pants at the
It was
beginning.
with the jeans warehouse that like got
Yeah,
that
but then
thing.
they had to find their own specific pants, but that was easy, because none of them wore normal blue jeans except for Jimmy.
Okay, so you know there were like those episodes where he meets like the tiny, the nanobots?
Yeah.
And like at the very beginning, someone goes, isn't that based on the same technology that made the pants go crazy? And no one went, you know, you're right, maybe this is a bad idea.
In the pants episode, two things. One, his mom literally points at the window and goes, "Look, it's an homage to Alfred Hitchcock's The Bird." And also, his mom says, like, "Hey, with this technology that you did to build the pants, couldn't they theoretically become self-aware and start a revolution?" Like, I'm pretty sure that his mom is just as smart as he is and just doesn't do it.
I believe it.
No, that's good.
But also, you guys remember how his dad calls him Jimbo and Jim Jan?
Yeah.
That's why I call Cameron Cam Jan.
Wait,
My head is significantly less fudgy.
Yeah.
okay. So his mother doesn't do anything with her genius, but his father is very gung-ho about doing everything.
She loves ducks.
So that's why
Together.
So that's what together. He's so gung-ho about science. He's stupid about it.
And his
Oh,
dad
that makes
loves ducks.
And pie.
The mom does use her knowledge though. She called that giant cleaning thing.
Remember when they froze and her hair broke?
Okay, so everyone, I would like to spend this time to make an announcement. So for the next school year, Cameron for president! Clap, clap, clap! Slap, slap, slap! Slap, slap, slap! Slap, slap, slap! Slap, slap, slap! Cameron for president!
You have some support, but maybe not enough. We'll see.
You had
I
support.
like the episode.
No,
where
he needs
he's
a three-way tie.
below.
You know, the technology that I always most wanted to show was when he made the book gum, that
Yes.
you ate it and you knew the whole book. There were so many times in like middle and high school where I was like, I don't want to.
I want gum. Remember when? So they go to the moon in his rocket ship without.
Any protector.
And so Sheen would ask like, "Hey Jimmy, how come we can breathe up here?" And he goes, "Well, it's a really easy thing actually." And then Coral starts singing. They do the act like twice in the episode.
And singing is pushing it. He's just kind of saying words that rhyme. Anyone else have any favorite Jimmy Neutron inventions?
Let's see. I think it was.
The crossovers are fairly out there.
Those were fun.
Yeah.
I was gonna say his brother. I was gonna say his mother gone.
Robot Hot? Does not catch his bro on?
No, like the one where you made a robot mom. And it had life mode on it.
Oh!
And
Yes,
at the end, his mom beat it with like this clean
Yeah.
thing, which proves that she's genius too because she built that.
Yeah.
The episode where they had to win a game show where their planet would be detonated.
Well, they also
There
did
was an
like
episode where it was a dog fight.
well, they also did the for the movie the slime dudes and
Oh,
the
yeah,
giant chicken thing.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That was spooky.
The Yokians, that's what they were called.
I think I saw that in theaters.
I'm pretty sure I also saw the Jimmy Neutron movie.
I did see
Oh
I have
boy.
very fond memories of that movie, and I don't want to go back and watch it because
No.
they'll all be ruined.
I remember
no.
it scared me.
Don't
Like,
go
so
back and watch
bad.
it, it doesn't hold up. But
Also, his hair faces through lovers.
Also in that movie, the egg people were flying ships that looked kind of like Klingon ships.
Oh my God.
Oh wait,
But also-
how about the bad shoes?
But also, guys, Macbeth. He stinks.
speaking of drawing the line between homage and blatant ripoff, I just remembered that they made a blatant ripoff of James Bond, and then they made a sequel.
With Beautiful Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
I think she was voiced by Tara Strong, because Tara Strong is in everything.
And then they made a sequel.
No, and there was also, in one of the beautiful, gorgeous episodes, they go underwater and there's a pineapple, a rock, and a tiki head underwater.
That's just nice.
Okay, I'm gonna keep going around the room, so in the back.
Time that he made you get sick quick patches and big illnesses.
Yeah, that was a cool one.
Professor Fairness, one who's gonna finish his bench.
Yeah.
Great planet, yeah. Beautiful gorgeous dad.
Oh, that's right.
The sentient fast food restaurant that got mad when they saying about a competitor, so to wipe out every other food service on the planet.
Wait, do you guys remember the pizza? Like, that scared me so much. And at the end, it was a dream with the pizza wakes up screen. And then his pizza wife comes out of the house and goes, "Don't be silly, dear. There's no such thing as children." That just messed me up.
And then there's the entire Planet Sheen spinoff.
No, there's not. No, there is not. That does not exist.
Many times in this presentation, you may begin to think about something that has been produced more recently.
Stop.
Don't. It's okay. You don't have to. They're not as good as we know.
Okay, so I thought that the fast food episode was a fever dream I once had.
There are a lot of those. We're gonna go through everyone's fever dreams and like figure out which ones happened.
Okay, we gotta move on.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm already hyped. I watched this again, like after I had turned 13 in high school. Okay, so I watched this again like in high school because it was on after school. It is like a little bit depressing to watch after you turn 13 because then they're like teenagers. Once you turn 13, you get decommissioned and you're like,
And you're like, problem, and you think those darn kids, they think they're so cool.
no. I'm like, oh God, I'm part of the problem now. How could this happen?
But wait,
Okay.
what about the secret society of teenagers who continue to learn about the K&D and help them out?
That was so cool.
That's what I was gonna say.
But yes, another, like, mentioning the difference between homage and blatant ripoff. There's that one episode where it's a snow day, but the president decides that everyone has to go to school, so he takes their school buses. Which of course probably had a big school bus acronym that broke down into something ridiculous, and they just picked all the kids up and brought them.
I didn't know what that's about.
Yeah,
She tried to brainwash her.
Yeah.
I don't know why number one stayed with Lizzie. She was awful.
The worst.
She was so scary.
Yeah,
Because
that was not
something
the
to do
coolest
with
thing.
didn't have to look after 2 through 5.
He was always doing that though. That was like a big problem in their relationship. She had a huge problem with that.
Isn't there like a tendency that once you get the reason why his energy usually would turn evil is because they would get so much power they would literally turn to Darth Vader, essentially. There was one episode where he turned evil.
Yeah, kids are doing a lot of homages or whatever. There was Bully Island.
Yeah. Oh, geez.
There was also the series of Indiana Jones episodes. Oh, wait, number 5.
Yeah.
Oh, the ice cream. Yeah, the fourth flavor. Yeah, I remember that. I remember at the beginning of the show, it was just 1 through 5, and then as the season progressed, it was it's a whole organization, and I sort of picked up the show in the middle, so I saw some of the ones from the beginning, and then all of a sudden they were just part of the whole numbers up to 999, and I was like, where did you all come from?
I like the angry Scottish one. She's fun.
Oh yeah.
86?
Yeah, that sounds right.
What about that one episode where like each of the 5 kids of Sector B were like telling a story about how they're trying to deliver the goods?
I love that one.
And then it went from like Trons, like comic books,
Yes.
trans scribbles, Dragon Ball Z.
That's such a cool episode, and it was just a pizza. That was
a
such a
delightful children's pizza.
It was such a
Why they were giving
cool
us such a hard
episode.
time.
I don't remember anything about that episode.
You would love that
Other
episode.
than
Oh,
that it ends with number 86 angrily screaming in Scottish,
But
not
don't
Scottish,
most of
in her
them-
Scottish voice about how all you had to do was deliver a pizza.
I feel like that's how a lot of the episodes end. Fever Dream?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't there an episode where they were fighting giant lice?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, definitely. They were kind of scary.
That's not even the weirdest thing they fought.
What about the City of Mustache episode? No.
The ties, guys, the ties.
Oh God.
The number 4 one?
No, what about
No.
the sentient underpants?
Yeah.
And the only reason he decided not to fight them is because number 1 neatly folded his underwear, and they were like trashing his room, and then the evil underwear like came to tears. It's like, I can't fight someone who folds their underwear so neatly. That's one that until we ran this mission at Starfest, I thought was a fever dream.
Oh, but also Rainbow Monkeys.
Oh,
I realized a couple days ago that I remember the entire Rainbow Monkeys theme song.
Also, that there was literally an ocean made of asparagus.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
That's a question. Oh, yeah. I know you.
Great work, John.
Yeah.
Isn't there one episode with like a fast food restaurant for sharks?
Yes.
Yes. What?
Yes.
I don't
No, they
know
like
at all.
eat children.
That's terrifying.
That's what terrifying.
Yeah, like he was
Actually.
in a burger. So many years
Okay,
now.
let's the episode where they were building Rainbow Monkey's cereal secret ingredient was actual rainbow monkeys.
Don't mention that one.
What about the episode when he dived into a pool and they went to the negative universe?
Yes!
Negative number.
With evil number 4, and they figured out it wasn't him because he was smart.
Yeah, no, I remember one of the things I think was really cool about this show is how they like continually reinforced like how good of friends like the kids were, because like a lot of kids on like shows that like aren't related are like kind of dicks to each other. But there was this one episode where like number 1 came back to the base and everyone was like replaced with like doppelgangers that was like really close, and he actually figured it out that they weren't the real ones because number 4 was swimming. And he remembered that number 4 couldn't swim. And that like wasn't even mentioned earlier in that episode. That was just like part of like the established canon of like part of his character that like number 1 organically remembered and like used it to like solve the case. And I always thought that was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, John. Yeah.
I don't think we should forget the travesty that was the supermarket episode.
When they're all trying to get that box of cereal?
When they turned power into a comic relief villain.
When they're all trying to get the cereal?
I think so.
I think they were all fighting for one box of cereal, but it was the entire kids next door and then all of their villains, and they just wanted this. I assume it was Rainbow Monkey cereal, and they were all fighting for it. Got it. He like threw it away. He's like, no, I got it, and I'm not gonna eat it. And they're like, we hate you. I think they beat him up.
Okay, so we'll do you, and then we'll do favorite kids next door villains.
Okay, how about the episode where number 1's girlfriend used a mind control device to make him fall in love with her?
Oh, yeah, that was
that
the principal used it on her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hated her.
And the power of money was the only way to break it, and also the power of having to pay a bill was the only way to break the mind control device. So
Excellent.
Okay, favorite kids next door. Mine was the dodgeball wizard.
Oh my god.
Because he just shot dodgeballs out of his sleeves, and I was like, how do I do that? Okay, so we'll go this way this time. Kids next door villains. Okay.
Sticky beard.
Sticky beard. Oh, that's a good one.
Sticky beard is more cannibal.
Going to senior citizens office.
Senior citizens.
More camels, everything.
The toilet guy.
Toiletator! He was the best. And worst, he sucked.
I just only remember one. Did anyone else play the Team Next Door Flash game that was on their website?
Of course.
Wait,
one when there was grade 1. And you
Describe
had
it.
levels for each of the 5
I think so.
Yeah.
No, I feel like please describe this, because I feel like I've played it, but I don't like know anything about it.
Number one was primarily versus the Toilinator, but also the girlfriend was there, and
But what was the gameplay? Like, was it like a
it was a platformer where you'd have they would each have some piece of technology to use. So 5 was collecting the candy cane swords to fight Sticky Beard.
Oh my god. I'm remembering this.
One had the Splanker, which he used to like break glass on alarms, and he had to activate all the alarms, and then he used the Splanker to deflect.
Oh, that's like.
Okay, but also, Terminator decided that number 4 was his arch nemesis, and number 4 didn't know. So whenever he got excited and proclaimed that, they were like, "Who's that guy?"
So keep going around.
Villains.
Exactly.
See, was it the Toothinator?
Night Race.
Oh,
Yeah, Night Race.
You're right. Night Race. Night Race story the story.
I'm pretty sure number
It's awesome. Huh?
Yeah, because number 4
Yeah.
was terrible, number 2.
He was cool.
Who?
The Common Cold.
Well, the Common Cold.
He was cool.
Oh yeah.
He worked with Tommy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Number T.
Number T.
Hey, I like
Tommy.
T. Alright.
Cool.
I don't remember his name. I know that Rob Paul played him, and he had this miniature golf course, and he like.
I know that one.
Yes, that
Yes.
one. Call it mini golf.
Yeah. That was, I remember that.
That was like one where miniature golf is a real sport! It is!
Anytime someone said mini golf, you go, no, the game is called miniature golf.
I see why you remember it.
Okay, we're gonna move on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, but also, there was a musical episode because they were in a school play and it was really cute. And number 3 was the lead, and so were the delightful children collectively. And then number 4 ruined it like every episode.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, I'd like to begin with a question. Why is Dexter German?
What?
Why not? Why is he has a German accent and no one else in his family does? Maybe he's adopted that.
Accents aren't hereditary.
But like, how did he pick it up?
By listening to Einstein.
That makes sense, actually.
Okay, I'll buy that. Thanks for the
I buy it.
Or just listening to a lot of like sci-fi movies that have stereotypically German-sounding mad scientists.
Like who?
Like every portrayal of Einstein and every mad scientist based on Einstein.
Touche.
Yeah.
It's actually because, also because Andy Tarkovsky was born in the USSR, and he actually brought his own personal, flavor to it because he's from Russia. So it's actually like a Dexter Russian accent to sort of, point back to his, upbringing.
Oh,
Nice.
well, that's actually really cool. This show is obviously also very hard sci-fi because it was just Dexter inventing things and then it going wrong, and it was Jimmy Neutron but for Cartoon Network.
But also, do you guys remember the Avengers, but not? Yeah. Yes. With like purple Hulk.
Yes, and like Guitar Thor.
Yeah.
They parodied some obscure Avengers like that.
And what was the Captain America, but not?
Glory. Avengers, they all correlate to a real Avenger. It's super impressive.
Okay, we're gonna sweep
Dexter was
this way this
monkey.
time. So
Who would win in a fight, Dexter or Jimmy Neutron?
Jimmy Neutron.
Jimmy Neutron has a robot dog. Dexter has a monkey. I give it to Goddard.
But also,
Dexter has
Dexter
an
isn't
obnoxious
nice to his
sister.
monkey.
Yeah, Dexter's very mean to everyone, and Jimmy is everybody's friend except for
Wait.
Cindy.
Are you forgetting that the monkey is super powered?
Yeah, but Goddard is Goddard.
Yes, but Goddard usually gets
thrown in the trash a lot.
Yeah, and he's always back for the next episode. Goddard's invincible. You can't win.
Neutron's got a rocket ship.
So does Dexter.
Also, like, Goddard gets super OP in some episodes when the plot demands it.
Yeah.
Like you replace programming with the video game.
Oh my god.
I remember
He
like
gets
a
buff.
mecha Goddard.
That doesn't make sense at all.
I like the episode where he goes to college.
Yeah.
Remember this one where he turns the entire college campus into a giant pool?
A pool?
Yeah, he makes a hot tub.
I don't.
Yeah,
don't remember
It's
this
a
one.
giant hot tub.
I remember him
How
trying
did
to
we get
relate
Dexter
with
here?
peers.
What?
Like with peers, but
Oh
yeah.
No, it was funny because it was like he so he went to college and everyone at college just everything last minute. That was the entire premise of the episode. When you're in college, you just party, and when things are right, when you actually start doing work out. So he pretty much.
I feel personally attacked.
What?
I feel personally attacked.
Me too.
Same here.
Okay, so yeah, I'm just telling you, and they basically all major innovations were done at the university were hot tub related. Fratters, we came into a frat party and they converted the entire floor into a hot tub. Though.
huh.
I don't know how they pulled it off. That made no sense, but that's what they did it. And he got to a point where he actually wanted to stay. That's what he turned it into. He turned the entire college campus into a hot tub for that reason. No?
All right.
Yeah, we'll go.
Oh, sorry.
Does everyone know what the Lost episode about?
Where they split them
Yeah.
themselves into nice and rude halves.
Okay, so this episode was struck down by the FCC because that said things like darn and gosh, darn, and like curse in very like, but the FCC didn't like it at all, so it was banned. So what happens is, like Vincent said, they try to teleport her, both him and Dee Dee, but it ends up splitting them into their nice and their rude halves. And the rude halves curse the entire episode. If you want to find, yeah, I'm pretty sure you can find the episode online nowadays because Yendi like had a copy and just put it on YouTube.
Oh.
And two, oh sorry,
Like the curse words, like words, like the things that were leaked, like you could tell they were trying to, they were saying like actually like explicit stuff.
oh,
Like that, you weren't saying like exact words, but you could tell they were like talking like,
Oh,
and they were
no.
actually doing curse words, not just something like darn and that.
Oh my.
all right. When Dexter's dad was buried in the yard, he kept yelling out, "Eat me."
No.
Nobody remembers that but me.
I think that was a fever dream.
That was not a fever dream. It's on YouTube. I checked before this.
Fever dreams can be on YouTube.
Was that a Muppet episode?
Oh, okay.
So Dexter teamed up with Dee's imaginary friend to save Dee's other imaginary friend from an anime villain in space.
Oh yeah. What? Yes.
I didn't watch that much Dexter's Lab.
The movie.
Oh
I don't think
god.
that was a movie. That was an episode.
I remember,
They got stuck
Mandar.
together.
Totally insane.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't there an episode which involves Dexter's monkey versus Manfred's dog?
Yes,
Oh,
definitely.
Who's the guy with the beard? Like there's that one episode where Dexter grows a beard and like
That was-
with another guy with a beard.
Does that happen when you grow a beard?
Wasn't he voiced by Mr.
No.
T? I think that was voiced by Mr. T.
I have no idea.
So,
Okay.
Okay, can we take a moment and appreciate that episode where a teacher puts Dexter in charge of the library and he builds an entire army of war robots?
Of course he did.
And I can't figure out, and they keep getting confused by what children's book.
And bacon and eggs!
Oh my god. Blatant ripoff, you say?
Sounds like a '90s cartoon.
The one episode where like Dexter saw someone else use a potato to power a light bulb, and he became like obsessed with like collecting potatoes to power his entire lab.
Potato computer.
Yes.
What about the episode where Dexter just made everyone's shorter than him? And then short became the new cool, like.
No.
Oh, that sounds hilarious.
Poor Derek.
How about the episode where he where he changed reality, so his sister was actually his brother. His brother was more referred than his sister was.
Oh yeah, because he was
Jack.
So, does anyone else remember the episode that was entirely focused on Dexter's mom shopping for gloves?
Yes.
Yeah, that was
Yes.
what? That was a weird episode.
Yep.
Another lady.
So, remember the one episode where Dexter's really late for school, so he slows down time?
Oh, yeah, I
to the
do.
point,
Oh, yeah.
so he gets school on time, but he realizes that as he tries to shower and eat milk, that everyone is so slow he can't do anything.
And then at the very end, Stevie tells him that it was a snow day, and he didn't have to do last minute preparation.
That's like the one episode that I remember clearly. It's the one where he slowed down time. Just because it kept coming back to me as I would be late for school on the regular. I was like, I wish I could slow down time. I was like, wait, that wouldn't work. I'm just screwed.
I think we should go.
Yeah, let me move on.
That wasn't a joke. So this show, like a lot of people like didn't see it because it was like really underground because Nickelodeon did not like it at all. So it was really pushed at bad times pretty regularly. But this show is fantastic. Like the humor is like really dark and depressing. Yeah, that's his, yeah, that's his house. He has like lawn ninjas on the front lawn and that sign that says "I love Earth." And his spaceship is like in here, and he regularly breaks his house to like fly his spaceship out, and none of his neighbors notice. And like. So I don't think I have a picture. No, I don't have a picture on this one. But there was a character that showed up every so often, who had a Zim put a happiness probe in his head. So there was this huge drill coming out of his head that forced him to always be happy. And this kid's name was Nick, and it was specifically put in there by the creator because Nickelodeon kept telling him that he had to make his show happier. So he put in his character named Nick that is just forced to be happy all the time. The show is super messed up. It's so funny. This one time, one of the characters, Dib, is
He's got a huge head.
He's just got the biggest head. He's like Zim's nemesis, and is he's like a believer in the occult and the supernatural. There's literally an alien who he interacts with every day, but nobody believes him. He finds a book he collects all these books that give you wishes, but they're all depleted. But he finds one that has enough that actually has some points left on it. So he makes the wish without knowing what it is, and it makes his sister taste nothing but bacon. And that's the episode. And for anyone who either really likes this show and is sad that it's gone, there is an ongoing series of comics written by the original creator. And they have rotating artists that come in. Is anyone familiar with Sarah's Scribbles? It's you see them online all the time.
Yes.
It's they're a black and white. It's this girl in a black and white striped dress. And she's always
I love her.
talking about cats and being lazy and eating food all the time.
What you want.
She does a couple of the comics. She draws them, and they're all great, and they're all perfectly in the same humor. They're fantastic. I highly recommend them. But yes, this show is also very, very sci-fi because Zim is an alien, he's here to conquer the Earth, but nobody actually cares about Earth and he doesn't know that. And one final note before I turn the floor over to you guys, their social structure is decided based on how tall you are. And so Zim is pretty short, but he's taller than some other Urkins, and they can't figure out why he's not he's people shorter than him, and it really just throws their whole society into chaos. So they go, stop worrying about it. Go this way this time.
How about the episode where they generally make fun of the X-Files?
I love the X-Files.
Every episode?
No. There was only one where there was a career day, and Zim's main arch enemy. I forget what the kid's name's called.
Dib!
Yeah,
Boy Dib!
Okay, so Dib pairs up with someone who's an X-Files person who's investigating aliens, and he went to a crop circle, and Dib's like, you're missing the main point of the entire episode, though. Zim is an alien.
All I can remember is that Zim is definitely allergic to rain.
Oh no! Poor guy.
I vaguely remember that. Oh, just as a side note, the show is weirdly obsessed with meat, and it takes place in the far future, and it's only occasionally alluded to, like on the Valentine's Day episode, they exchange meat with each other, and the teacher mentions, like, a long time ago, it used to be chocolate, but now we're doing meat. The show is so weird, and I love it.
Okay. Okay. First off, I just want to say something. Nickelodeon's already announced that we're getting a 66-minute TV movie that's going to serve as the finale for this whole thing. Yep.
So hyped.
Yep.
So excited for that.
Yep. This series is awesome. All episodes are on Hulu for anyone who's interested.
Are they used to be on Netflix? Are they still there?
No, but they're on Hulu.
Okay.
I will acquire those.
I watched this thing so freaking much. It's like the only one I remember vividly. There was one episode that I cannot forget where it's like school nurse day or health day or whatever. And Zim disguises his alien biology by eating organs from all the other.
Wow. Hit me.
I have no idea what's going on. Yeah, this is actually from the comics. You can tell by the slightly different art style where they get robotic speech and fight each other. It's pretty great. Okay.
That one episode with like the time portal and Zim just gradually cripples Dip by replacing stuff in his past with rubber cages.
No, one of the like
car and Dip gets like powered on and takes revenge.
So the first comic actually it starts out with like the same amount of time in the real world that has passed in universe. Like it starts with Dib like in his room, like furiously monitoring everything. Like Zim hasn't showed up in years. Like he must be planning something great, and like he's like morbidly obese and like so out of shape because he literally hasn't left his room in years. And then Zim just casually like walks outside at one point, and Dib can't stop him just because he's so out of shape. And Zim's like, "This is it. This was my plan."
Another one. He tried to take over the Earth or destroy it or something with a giant Santa Claus robot.
Oh yes.
Jolly Boots of Doom.
That's how I do it.
Bow down, bow down, bow down to the power of Santa, or be crushed by his Jolly Boots of Doom.
I saw that episode of Futurama.
Did he create the Futurama killing Santa robot?
Well, Minnie Moose, who just showed up randomly in one episode, it was just a small moose. And Zim just screams Minnie Moose several times.
And then there was that one episode where they were like being sent to a room with a moose.
Oh, the room with the moose. That's the name of the episode. Everyone's terrified about going to the room with the moose. And then you get there, and it's a room with a moose. And everyone just starts screaming.
I would like to blame this show for the upheaval of random humor in the internet.
Yeah, that's kind of true. There's one scene where it begins, and it's just kind of like in Zim's lab or whatever, and there's like, just like a bunch of garbage everywhere, and then Gert jumps out of a turkey and goes, "I was the turkey the whole time!" Yes, the show is, it does have a lot of random equals funny humor, but like more so, it has a lot of like really dark humor, like when Zim eats, so that he can pass like a health examination, and like their weird obsession with meat, and like it's just, I love the show. I can't explain it well enough.
How about the germ episode?
That's not the one where he eats the Oreos. What's that one?
No, he gets completely germaphobe and freaks out over everything and sprays it with something.
No, he has a germ. He develops these germ vision goggles
Yeah,
So we
that's
connected to it. Oh, yeah. Affected by germs because he thought since he's a born entities and they get killed by because he went for the pot really bad science fiction movies.
War of the World, bad science fiction.
No, he wasn't watching War of the Worlds. He was watching.
I know that's the comparison.
Yeah, I know. I thought War of the Worlds too, basically. Like, yeah.
But yeah,
technically, just kind of basically the same thing you find War of the Worlds.
the show, highly recommend. It's very funny. You can find it on the internet.
Cool. Oh, but guys.
Why do
So
I never
thought-
own these ones?
Okay, so I thought that I'd forgotten the theme song, and then we played it yesterday, and we both knew all the words. So.
I don't remember this one.
Oh,
you will.
You will.
Oh
Okay, really quick before I go. Yeah. What the heck was up with Nickelodeon and characters who couldn't stand under the rain?
She's made of metal. She cannot.
That is.
Am I the only one who doesn't know these past two shows?
Yeah.
No, oh my gosh. So I loved this show. I remember like bits and pieces of it. Like the art style was really cool. Like I mostly just have Jenny here. But also, remember like the really popular girls? Like they were just drawn really like.
They were like unconventionally popular girls. Like it wasn't
Yeah,
like
they
the
were
blonde
weird.
hair with like the pink dress who was like ah, la, 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 la. They were like a little bit like goth. Like,
Yeah,
a little
yeah,
bit, like,
yeah.
They had like dark,
They
like
were, like,
muted
scary.
colors, and they were like brooding, and
And
they were the
really
popular
mean.
girls. Yeah.
They were Pearl Marina. They were actually just Pearl Marina.
He's not wrong.
Yeah. Oh.
But yeah, no. This show is really cool because it handled like regular like middle school like high school problems, but they like detached themselves because she's a robot, but she still dealt with like human problems, and it's that regular sci-fi trope of like the robot is one of the most human characters in the show. But there was also an action sequence per episode where she punched another robot for some reason, and it was great.
I remember the acne ones where she had like bolts growing out of her face, and it's like, oh, don't worry about it. And then she would like unscrew the bolts, and it's like, it's fine. And then more would come up, and then her friend with the red hair was like, I have this like makeup that you can put over them, but it's that color and not that color, and it's sad and related.
And then there's the human skin. Like,
Yes!
That's the only thing I remember.
Oh my god, that was so weird. They did weird stuff.
The only one I remember is when she found, because she's XJ9, and she found XJ 1 through 8 just like in a closet somewhere.
That's one of them.
Yeah, and then she was like, "Are you gonna shut me down?" And she's like, "Oh," and her mom was like, "Only if I make a better one." And I was like, "Oh my god."
That's like Ex Machina, but as a joke.
an ordinary person also has to be a superhero, but it's actually about a person who is a robot who is expected to be a superhero, but wants to.
She's like, I don't wanna.
She's a teenage Data.
No, she communicates a lot more effectively.
But it's a robot like trying to do mental stuff.
It's not the same.
Well,
Not all robots are like,
But it is
dude,
kind
no.
of-
Data has his whole journey to understanding human emotions. She already has emotions. She's already very sassy at the beginning. And not accidentally. She's just very sassy.
Well, she's programmed.
You know, like the one ongoing theme is she's envious of humans for like having feelings, to be able to do a lot of things that she cannot do, and she comically gets updates and simply just don't work for her. They go like, no matter how much robots want to be human, they cannot be it.
Yeah, again, the weird human skin episode.
Oh gosh. Another thing that's cool about this is like the way that it had a take on like technology. Like you can't really see
It's
it.
so like retro tech though.
Yeah, but like in this one, or like you can't really see it because it's off screen. But like on this like digital like video phone, she gets a huge like one of her ponytails turns into a huge a huge satellite dish, and that's how she like communicates with people like digitally, and it's like
Yeah,
we have that now without the.
it was cool because it was like futury, but also like retro tech.
Yeah.
Which is fun. Things.
Oh wait.
We do the thing.
No, I love that.
Don't worry, it's low quality. We'll address it.
There was some slice.
We'll address it.
Enjoy the theme.
I think I were against that. They were ridiculous. How did they size
Yeah, okay. So all of us watched the Rugrats. It was a good time. It's not actually like sci-fi. Like some of their adventures are sci-fi themed, but it's okay.
In the second movie, they piloted a giant mech dinosaur.
I did watch Rugrats in Paris many times. Yeah. But also, like, they had Reptar. Reptar, Mighty Reptar.
There
But
was also
also,
they went to a bowling alley and it felt it had weird sci-fi vibes.
it probably did. A lot of the episodes, like, some of their adventures were sci-fi, but also the creators were huge nerds, because you get Tommy Pickles, who opens things with the screwdriver that he always has. It's Sonic. Makes a sound. And also, when they're in the toy store, some of the toys on the shelves are Daleks, which is fun. They're like, what nerds?
Hardcore nerds.
Yeah.
Okay, but also the show was just a rip-off of Muppet Babies out of Muppets.
Okay. Okay, fine.
Wasn't that a true story episode? Sorry.
Definitely.
I don't remember.
Wait. Does everyone remember the Terminator episode, though?
No.
What?
Not at all.
Okay, so basically there was an episode where his father created a bunch of these really
Oh yeah, he's
smart abilities, and so they had one. It was like this one's really creepy, and they found out there was like a couple or 100 of them, and they literally went to war. They literally went to war, and they ended up putting up a medals, and so when they had the end, it was basically in Terminator style.
I vaguely remember this actually.
Remember that?
Okay.
Like they had a battle against the robotic.
Okay, but also, Rugrats All Grown Up. They started it. Okay, so the pilot. They're watching. Okay, so they're watching like this weird sci-fi movie on TV, and they are babies, and it's okay. And they're watching this weird sci-fi movie, and it's like, oh, the mad scientist doctor, he made a time machine, cool. And then Angelica comes in, and she's like, I have a karaoke machine, but she doesn't say karaoke because they don't say words right. And it's like one of those things where you hold it, you put a cassette in it, and it has the microphone. I had one, but she's like, don't touch it, and puts it right in front of him and walks away. And so like they touch it. And she starts to come back and she's like, I'm gonna beat you up. And they're like, uh-oh. And so all the babies take the karaoke machine and they run into the closet, but the microphone's on the outside. Like they take Dill too. And the microphone's on the outside, she's pulling on it, and they're like pulling on the other end. And then Tommy's like, it's a time machine. We're gonna go into the future, so Angelica can't be mean to us anymore. And then they do. Closet, and they're like all grown up. They're like 13. And like, guys, they don't address that it's sci-fi after that because they like it's.
Then they're
like,
just
it's
having
not.
normal.
Yeah, and then they're like, and this is the entire show, and we're just gonna have a normal show and ignore that whole sci-fi thing we did at the beginning. But guys, that's trippy.
I think it was like a 10th anniversary special, so it took place 10 years after.
But also, it was an entire TV show.
I watched some of it.
It was kind of meh.
It
Like some of it was okay, but like it wasn't. It was weird. It was like.
At least it didn't rely on extreme sports like that other.
But also, Angelica's mom got a lot of plastic surgery.
Little bit too much, huh?
Her face was like stuck, so that was kind of fun. But that's my bit.
Okay, So this one has a couple of quick advancing slides after the theme song, so just to warm you up. So, but wait, Cameron, you say, Fairly Odd Parents is fantasy, not science. I have 3 words for you. Fairy God Parents! Or, more specifically, how to combat said fairies. Denzel Crocker with science!
Take that, Fantasy Club.
So yes, it's both. Like any episode that has Mr. Crocker in it is him like making some sort of sci-fi device to fight magic. That's so cool, and he almost wins against literal magic with science.
But also, they did have one of the like big deal movie, where they like went into like a Star Wars area and he was Chewie and he had a cough, so he kept doing like the weird kind of thing. And for some reason they found earmuffs, and of course they were Leia earmuffs, and Vicky had those. And Timmy was working with all of his villains, and they had Dark Laser already. So.
Yes, like, there's more. So there's like a lot of other sci-fi like elements to it.
I love Mark Chang.
Dark Laser, Mark Chang.
He's
The
the
Crimson
worst.
Chin was bitten by a radioactive reporter.
No. Other way around. It was.
Oh, he was a reporter. And he was bitten
He was a talk show host, and he was bitten by a radioactive celebrity. You know?
Yeah. And on the chin, which is Crimson Chin. Another thing that I thought was really cool about the show is that, like, when Timmy like wishes for things, it often like materializes in like some side. Like on this one, he wished that he could like see further away, and then so instead of just giving him like magic eyeballs or something, like his fairies just pooped him up this like sci-fi helmet sort of thing. And also there's like. This one came from, like, he didn't even wish this. This was just when he wished he could stay up past his bedtime, and the street sweeper turned into a robot. And then there's this Back to the Future reference in when he's going back in time to find the origins of Mr. Crocker. I love Mr. Crocker. And when he goes back to the 80s, right before he appears, there's the DeLorean. The DeLorean disappears with the flames and the circles, and then Timmy appears on his bike via the flames and the circles. So yeah, there's a lot of sci-fi elements in this show.
You don't have the most important superhero on the show. Catman.
I know. They got Adam West.
It was played by Adam West and is literally making fun of 60s Batman.
Yes. No, I love Catman so much.
Jay Leno was Jay.
Someone said Adam West played the Crimson Chin when he was lame. Like the live action Crimson Chin.
Wait, also there was an alien romance between his babysitter.
Yeah, between Vicky and Mark Chang.
Yeah, Mark Chang.
Mark Chang.
I think Vicky was kind of eager to this entire romance for most of them.
No, she had no idea. He just loved her because she's terrible.
Yeah,
and that's their whole deal.
Yeah, because remember the first episode with them, he like goes to their planet and like everything cute, like they need to destroy, and they like give him through all of these trials. It's like, for your first trial, you must hug a teddy bear. And he's like, okay, and everyone like freaks out, and then it's like, you must frolic through this bed of flowers, and he like skips through, and they're like, his skin isn't burning! So they like anoint him their mightiest warrior just because he can like not
they don't
die.
destroy her.
Yeah, and they don't destroy her, and that's so that's why he loves Vicky, because Vicky is terrifying.
Remember how the special surprise time almost conquered their planet?
Yeah, the inside the box, but they were the only ones who fought them because they knew they were evil because they were cute.
And the only way they could do them is they tasted like manure.
I have a feeling there was like toothpaste lasers or something. I feel like that happened.
I believe it.
Hello, God.
You have your hand up, or you just stretching? Okay.
They had that weird video game episode where they went with the video game.
Yeah, and that was the most realistic episode because they were like, they had 3 lives, and they were like, oh, we both have 2 lives left. And Chester's like, I still have all 3 of my lives, and they immediately kill him. And he's like, seriously? And I'm like, that is accurate friendship representation.
It also crossed over with something else. There were like 3 Jimmy Neutron movies.
Yeah,
I have Jimmy Power Hour, 1 and 2.
And Jimmy would get really mad because Timmy and Sydney would hit it off, and he's like, "You can't do that." He's like, "You're mean to her anyway."
Yeah.
But also, it was fine. Everyone going into the Timmy Turner universe. Fine. Like sending Timmy to Jimmy Neutron universe.
Yeah.
Just
3D animated Timmy.
Oh.
2D animated Timmy looks pretty good.
Yeah, totally okay.
It can't be as terrifying as the live action movies with Drake Bell.
Hey, remember
Oh, you
things
mean the
that we
live
said we
action
wouldn't
movie?
talk about that?
It's all, you know, like how much of a shame it is that they stopped making this before it got terrible.
Yeah, I know. You know what? It's a good thing that they canceled they showed. Yeah, this. You know,
And didn't add a dog.
Yep. That's
I'm
a good
glad.
thing.
Or a baby.
Or a baby.
I'm
They,
glad.
they stopped like, oh no, there was one movie with the baby, and that was the end.
That was okay.
That was
And
the
then
end. That was the end of the show. There was no more show.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, they revived it a second time.
No, they didn't. Nope.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. This is an example of one show that can. This is one show that's jumped the shark way too many times already. They've tried to add 3 new characters to the show. 2 of them absolutely suck and everything. It's good that you're focusing on the era before it all went to hell. You know.
Okay. There was an episode where his favorite space superhero, they had an origin story that he got the cassette tape for.
Okay, Crush Nebula.
Oh, yeah, remember there's a entire movie they actually explained Crusher's origin story, yeah?
I don't remember that one.
You remember that one? So basically, he was originally a farmer, and he saved his princess from another planet, and they basically said that you're a superhero, you're amazing, and I want you to go to this warrior school in space. And he's like, yeah, sure.
I'm beginning to remember this now.
Yeah, I think they were supposed to make that a spin-off show if the pilot did well enough and it didn't do well enough.
That's a bummer.
I don't actually like that episode, though. I thought that was kind of cool.
We could keep. Yeah.
Neither. Most importantly, Denzel Crawford.
Cameron is going to cosplay Denzel Crocker. We just need to find a way to remove his ear and put it on his head.
That's the only way to accurately do the costume.
Gotta move it down.
Oh wait, one more thing.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank you for reminding me that Crocker exists because I feel like a part of my soul has been reused.
But also his ears on his neck.
They mentioned it.
I love when they mention it.
They're like, why are your ears on your neck? And he's like,
It's part of his dramatic backstory.
Yeah.
He did give it an atomic and a super.
The principal as well. Oh, she's weird.
I like how Wanda and Cosmo forgot about Emma.
Wait a minute.
There is
I'm
memory
thinking
because
about
it's
it.
Men in Black, but
The
not really.
castle
Fairies.
is bigger on the inside. The little fish castle.
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
yeah. But with magic.
Yes.
I mean, so is Doctor Who.
Okay. For real this time.
And School Bus, which I heckin' love.
When does this come out again?
The 22nd of September.
What year?
This year. Oh, the new one is
To answer your question, it was 1994 to 1997.
Okay, thank you.
Watching that again made me realize there's parts where it looks like the Magic School Bus is dancing to this song, and I love it.
It is, because it's wonderful. But Okay, so it is straight. I didn't. Okay. Yeah, but so it's not. It's magic, guys.
It's
It
a
says
magic
it in
school
the
bus.
name.
That's what they call it. It's actually a TARDIS.
Bro, you also can read that the magic school bus is an elder god.
Ooh, that's fun. But also, like I know. But I go to the Strong for their sci-fi weekends as Miss Frizzle. No one has told me to leave. But yeah, they explore real science every time, but also they do some like episodes where they blatantly reference well-known sci-fi things like latent enterprise bus and Leia curls.
Yeah.
That was the same episode.
I forget the name, but there's also like an episode that is like when they shrink down and go inside the body. That's a direct reference to another. Yeah,
they
when
go
they go inside the body.
Yeah, voyage.
Yes.
Yeah, they've been introduced at least twice.
They also went to the center of the earth in a different episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just thought about this, the way he moves in the intro kind of looks like a taxi Who Framed Roger Rabbit, like the school bus. And he also in a way is kind of like Kirby but a school bus. And so it's kind of interesting, it's like when he smiles and his eyes are, it really is kind of like it really is kind of like the taxi Who Framed Roger Rabbit but a school bus. The way he flattens. The way
and it turns into a spaceship. Multiple spaceships.
When I got right,
so, his like the way his wheels move is kind of like it's kind of like taxi and but it's cool.
They got corrected the thing that Pixar got wrong. His eyes are actually on the headlights, not the windshield.
Yes.
That's not horrifying in any way. It's not like your razors and doors.
Oh, there are. Anyway, they won't let me. Yeah, no, Joe,
No, please don't.
Those are gross.
Please don't.
Clarify.
But also, like, this show's so good, guys. But also, so last summer I was Miss Frizzle, and so I did research. So I watched a lot of Magic School Bus, and like, it lives up for the most part, but it's a lot cheesier than you're going to remember. Like, the puns are aggressive. The ant episode.
Carlos.
No, they don't start calling him out in the first season, like, at all. Everyone's just making the puns. But, like, the ant episode is just, it's just ant pun, ant pun, ant pun, ant pun, and it's great. But it is so much cheesier than anyone remembers.
No, I remember
but
when I was
sometimes they forget Wanda. Like, sometimes there's just a kid missing in like a full group shot, and it's like,
sometimes Arnold
they
appears
forgot
on
Ralphie.
the inside Arnold.
Yeah, no, that was like before I understood like
They have
goofs.
stuff.
Like before I understood goofs in shows. Like, because as a child you just assume that everyone is completely competent in everything that they do and every media that you consume is perfect. So they like, I was rewatching one of the ones where they go inside Arnold and Arnold was on the bus and I was like, is there in him? Is it always Arnold all the way down? And then, like, I couldn't watch the episode anymore because I would have a miniature existential crisis. And I kept this bottled up inside of me for years. And it was only when we ran this mission again that I remembered that it happened and also then explained it to myself, so I put my past self at ease.
But also at the very, very beginning where they're like waiting on the road and then the bus pulls up and they're like, wow, pretty sure Wanda just isn't there. She's just not there.
Poor Wanda.
But yeah, so the reboot, not reboot, because like they're starting it from like not where they left off, but and continuing with Kate McKinnon on September 22nd of this year, and I am frickety frackin' hyped. I want all the bad puns. I need all of them. All of them.
Your addiction?
Yep. It's cheaper than drugs.
But at what cost to your soul?
Like, I'm okay. But also,
Okay.
Oh my God.
I'm here to say go through. It's like because I can't possible. There is nothing I can't Doesn't matter where, doesn't matter when. I will be there for you till the very end. Danger or trouble, I'm there on the double. You know that you always get caught if possible. What's the switch? I'm at you, man, you're my bitch, man.
So yeah, guys, Kim Possible is just so good.
I really feel like Ron Stoppable, like as a child, like I looked to him and I used him as like a guide path on how I run my life today. Much like
You're terrified of monkeys?
I'm terrified of monkeys.
You can only eat at Bueno Nacho? That's unhealthy.
I do not have a naked mole rat in my pocket.
Good.
Oh, you go Kung Fu Master.
Oh man, but no, this show was great, and also I had to put this quote in when they go to Camp Goddard. And Kim spends the entire bus ride just telling Ron that it's going to be okay. And then they get there and the sign falls off and it's Camp Wanna Week and he just drops to his knees and says, "Why have I been placed on this earth to suffer?" And I just thought, same though.
Camp Wanna Week was the one as a kid, but also that's where his friend who became
the lake monster.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think his friend. I mean, that's his arch enemy. Topsful's enemy is Gillo.
No, they weren't
is his
friends.
main enemy.
He has a lot of main enemies. A lot of the villains don't like him.
It's like Gil's like the one character that Kim cannot actually attack. Ron actually has to save the day when Gil's the villain.
I just remembered something.
What's that?
Draken can't remember Ron's name.
Oh my gosh, that's right. Dr. Draken. Okay. Something that I just recently remembered about Dr. Draken is like these are like some like robot minions that he made, but they were originally made to be his date to a dance. Like there's like a flashback episode because like Kim's dad and Dr. Draken were like friends in like high school, and he was like, oh yeah, like he's crazy. I don't want to hang out with him anymore. Like he's evil. And he realized that when he made, I think they're named like BB. I think were the names. They were all named BB. And he was like, I found us a date to the dance. And he's like, oh really? He's like, meet BB. He's like, dude, that's weird. He's like, no, it's not. It's great.
Also, her dad is a rocket scientist. Her mom is a brain surgeon. And I distinctly remember, I think from one of the like big finale movies or something, where her dad can't figure out his taxes, and so he's called someone and he's like, I just need some help. I mean, like, I'm not a rocket scientist. I mean, I am a rocket scientist. And then they hang up on him. But I distinctly remember that. And she had twins.
Oh,
brothers, Hickaboo, Boomshot.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
What were their names?
Jim and Sam?
Yeah.
Oh, also, I think it was like one of the finales, the one where the redheaded protagonist thinks she's found the perfect guy, but surprise, surprise, he was the villain, and her blonde quick best friend actually has feelings for her.
Not again.
And there's like a comic relief sidekick character as well.
Are they both wrong?
No, that was the original style. The comic relief character is a snowman. I mean a naked ball rat. And it's
the second finale was the alien invasion, and Draken about to tell us why his skin was blue, and then the credits rolled.
Also, last night we were trying to figure out why Shigo hangs out with Draken at all. He's paying her, which makes a lot more sense. Because it's like, she hates him. She could do so much better. She's like the brains and the brawn.
Shigo used to be good though. She used to be part of the
Yeah.
superhero crew where everybody.
Go Shigo.
Yeah.
Everyone's like a horrible go.
No, and the first part was out. We go. There you go.
So actually, as like a little bit of callback to earlier in the presentation, is like when I was watching the show, I was also still watching Magic School Bus. Episode where Arnold turns orange, and it turned out because he was eating a lot of carrots, and that like turned his skin orange. And then I realized that Dr. Draken must drink a lot of Kool-Aid, and that's my headcanon as to why he's blue.
Wait, did you look it up? Like, she has superpowers because of a meteorite, right?
Yes.
Not because she's an alien?
Yeah. No, those are like a rainbow meteorite hit all her siblings at one time,
Oh,
and they all gain these special different powers. And they are superheroes, but they're only really good. The superheroes of Go City, but she kind of just thought they were all lame and annoying. They actually couldn't get along because she was the only one who could make all of them in their place all the time.
Same.
So when she teamed up with them, they're unstoppable.
Guys, I'm gonna go rogue.
Show up in the finale because they were summoned by Dr. Draken's shampoo commercial and believed that he was.
I was telling you about the shampoo commercial.
Yeah.
The lather went so big.
Yeah, the American Idol parody episode.
That was weird. A lot of it was weird.
Oh wait, how about Dean and Amy? Yeah, there was a celebrity.
Oh,
yeah.
And she was able to change. She was basically shapeshifter. She was able to change her shape to any person. No.
Yeah, that's right. I remember this now.
Senior.
Senior, and Senior Junior are my two favorite antagonists to this show, just because they were so extravagant and ridiculous, and just the one episode sticks out in my mind where like it was the one episode where there was like a personality quiz book that would like assign you a color and an animal, and then there was also like a key in the back that was soulmates. And Senior is about to like kill Kim Possible, and then Senior Junior realizes that they're soulmates, and he like stops them, and his father's like taking them away, and he's like, "I will find you my soulmates." He's so dramatic. Senior, and Senior Junior.
I just liked how terrified Ron was of monkey fish all the time.
He eventually got over his fear of monkey fish though.
Yeah.
Because it's like the one thing that was legit character development in the show. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, like him and Ron eventually started dating in the end of the series.
No, but like, remember the one of the big movies? It's like, what happens if Shigo decides that she actually wants to be in charge?
Oh.
She takes over the world.
Oh,
She's
that's
confident.
That's
yes, she does.
She's confident.
She changes how to take over the world.
Isn't there one episode where like they're trying to get Senior Junior to be more villains, so they just look at something like hard to steal and well guarded online to determine what they're gonna steal next?
I assume so. That sounds like a thing.
The only reason they bring it up is Ron decides to do the exact same thing.
Sounds about right.
My favorite episode is one where like Draken like invents a machine that's gonna give him like the brain of a supercomputer, but like of course KP and Ron like jump in at the end and try to stop him, but he like is able to get like the thing around his head, but like Rufus like jumps on his head right beforehand. So Rufus ends up getting the supercomputer brain, but Draken gets Rufus's brain, and then so he's like, now that I have my supercomputer brain, I will draw the greatest plan. And he like draws like a poorly drawn house, and he's like, Shigo, and she's like, I think that one goes on the fridge. And he's like, no. And he goes back and he like draws some like fish, and he's like, aha, fish. Shigo, what is it? And she goes like, both forms are the proper plural form of the singular word, fish. And he's like, you're mocking me. And she goes, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the episode where? What about the? I think I like the interesting with the idea. How about the episode where Kim gets turned into a monkey through a curse?
Oh, I kind of remember that.
Remember the monkey thing? Where you talking about the monkey king?
Oh, yeah. And she gets really hairy. And
Yeah. That was weird. That was weird. We should keep going though, because we're Cyber Chase, definitely sci-fi. Good times. This is that Okay, so we have to like pick it up.
Yeah.
Okay, so Cyber Chase is really fun. Motherboard's always getting attacked by a hacker. He had a giant chin and he's green. He's kind of like Draken, but
He's not around. He's Lloyd's.
what? Oh, geez. I didn't know. That's cool. They had some magic episodes too, but everything was math and they learned things. And we all remember that negative numbers episode because it all blew our minds.
Yeah, no, because that like I specifically remember that because they had to like figure out what it was by like adding and subtracting, and they got to a point where they had to subtract like below zero, and they were like, we can't do that, and then they were like, oh yeah, you can. There's this thing called negative numbers, and I remember I brought it up at school once, and my teacher was like, no. And I was like, but I saw, and the teacher was like, we're not going to cover that. And I was like, but, and yes.
But yeah, Cyber Chase is really cool.
And
We're
it was
gonna, yeah.
great structure, taught kids math, and did it in a really fun way. And it was
I
really
learned
cool.
math.
And it had Christopher Lloyd and Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah.
Lloyd is probably the highest quality.
Okay. Okay.
It's up there. Oh, come on. Glue was good.
Yes.
I mean,
Thank you. But also,
Warning, banger incoming.
You can raise no way to back. The world needs heroes like that. Deep dance. Their superpowers they unite. Never let the feeling back down. Like a black clouds on the right. The next stop, never drop the sun. The world is losing all control. Deep dance.
I remember
yeah. No, oh my God, guys, the show was so good.
Yeah, so like 4 out of the 5 characters are like most certainly sci-fi. Robin has all sorts of cool sci-fi gadgets. Cyborg's a cyborg. Starfire's an alien. Beast Boy got injected with super serum and is able to shapeshift now.
Did they
Raven's
lose
dad
the
is
episode where
from-
they explained how Beast Boy got his powers? But
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
I can't believe
He
it.
was like,
It's really cool.
yeah, he was like,
It's sad.
so like his parents like traveled around a lot and then like brought him along to like a bunch of like, you know, like various jungles, and he gets like bitten by like this monkey and gets like really sick. So they like inject him with this like experimental serum, which turns him green and gives him the ability to shapeshift. So yeah, Beast Boy's super sci-fi. And Raven is like,
Raven's dad is like some sort of monster demon from another dimension,
I thought
and
he
that's
clearly
pretty
said it,
sci-fi.
no?
Kind of, like from another dimension.
Satan's another guy. Trigon is an interdimensional conqueror.
But oh my God, the show's so
the
good.
show like tackles some really heavy stuff, but like makes it really approachable. And like there's a lot of really cool character development. And I remember as a kid, like I was like, wow, I could totally just like hang out and like chill with like any of these characters, but particularly Beast Boy and Cyborg. But like really any of the characters would be really awesome to just like hang out with. Besides the fact that they absolutely just kicked all of the ass.
You're so cool.
From the voice of Slade.
What?
Ron Perlman, Jamie versus Slade, voice Slade.
I believe it. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, he did. I'm pretty sure he did.
Cool. Oh, also.
He also played that one guy in Danny Phantom who would Slade's book titles.
Oh, we haven't mentioned Tara Strong in a while. Tara Strong was Raven, and also in Q Possible, she voices that one cheerleader with the wavy blonde hair named Tara.
Subtle.
Wavy blonde hair.
Where is
Just
Mark
like
Hamill?
Tara
As
Strong.
far as I know, Mark Hamill is also in everything.
I just remembered Sticky Beard because I looked it up last night and I was like, hey! I know him.
Beast Boy had a sad romance in the show.
Like all the time. Oh yeah, Tara.
Yeah, the Tara romance, like Eric Carter's up in stone.
So also Star is now the unofficial Star mascot because they share the same name, and she is the coolest.
She's so cool. More sci-fi. Oh, guys.
It's like Charlie's Angels plus Sailor Moon plus
It's amazing. I love. Okay, so I love this show. It was awesome. So Sam is the smart one. Clover is the girly, popular-ish one. And we looked this up last night. Sam is the best friend one.
Alex, you mean?
I meant Alex. God, it's been a while since I've seen it, but it's also very much just. I watched it a lot.
So, hey Ava, what organization do they work for?
WOOHP. Well, like the premise of the show, like they would get like sucked into some sort of tube, and then they would be dumped into like the whoop station. And Jared would be like, "Hey guys," and they'd be like, "Why you do this right now?" And he's like, "You gotta save the world. Here are your gadgets," and he'd lay out like the specific gadgets that they would need for their missions, like on those tables over there. And they were all like cool, and they could disguise as other stuff, as like backpack, jetpacks, boots with knives and stuff, hair dryer but not, laser lipstick, because like laser lipstick.
What was the one with the two mirrors and the laser and the thing?
That's totally spies as well.
It's sci-fi. You can do that.
It's okay. What?
How does the show about aliens often, no?
I don't think so.
No.
It was usually like big bad corporation kind of stuff.
Aliens was the other show that was by the same company that you did one crossover with.
Cool. That's neat. But yeah, I frickety fracking love totally spies. But also, it was like, you get, it's like the Powerpuff Girls. You get the blonde, the redhead, and the
Short hair brunette.
Yeah, but
It's just like, I've heard it described as like Charlotte's Angels meets Sailor Moon.
sounds about right. Yeah, okay. But yeah, it's good.
What if James Bond was 3 girls and his villains were also girls?
I mean, there's sometimes girl villains.
The memorable ones were.
The good ones were.
Fair enough.
This show was
Exciting.
this was my freaking fracking jam. Okay, this was my favorite show, like as a kid. Like I knew what time it was on, and like I would plan my day around watching this show.
You got it because you got to watch it because it was so good.
This show was like and Sparky was my favorite. Like cool because like Lilo and Stitch is such a great like Disney movie, and like this TV series like really honestly wasn't bad. You know, like there was a couple like weird movies that they came out with, and like the premise to this one.
Crossover episodes where like characters from some other.
Okay, so we watched the Kim Possible one yesterday. Don't watch that; it sucks.
Unlike the crossover on Nickelodeon, where they tried to do the same art style for both of them.
Wait. What? They said so Rufus comes out of Ron's pocket and Jumbo's like, legally, look, it is experiment number, and it's like, whatever, don't do this. Don't do this. Please don't do this.
No, not being it though. But yeah, no, so like the show was awesome because it was like, you know, every episode was like somehow one of the experiments gets activated and causes trouble, and Lilo and Stitch like go to find them, and they like capture them, and they convince them to be good, and then they find like their one true place. Yeah. So, you know, they find like their like one true place, like where the experiment can be like really helpful and like, you know, use its like destructive powers for good. Like there's one that like screams really loud, and they like make that one Nani's alarm clock.
I remember the snowy one goes to work for the snow cone guy.
Yeah. And then there's one that can like clone things, but it's like half as
like
good.
legit kill them. The
Yeah,
snow one.
They all did. There's like one that can clone things, but like each clone is only like half as good as the original. So he like goes to a bakery and he makes like half-calorie cakes. I don't remember like what they. Oh no, this one like worked at a theme park. This was the Halloween special one where he like made your like fear a reality, and they like put him in like a haunted house, and like it was just like really creative. Yeah, there was like the earthquake one. I don't remember.
Like a mine suit.
Yeah.
Chef one.
The sandwich one.
Oh, yes, the sandwich one. This we talked
Yes,
about.
625.
Also,
It was exactly as good as Stitch in every way. It was more intelligent because he could speak in complete sentences.
But not
And
motivated.
But not motivated.
But he can make sandwiches.
The power of motivation.
I love the power of motivation.
Sarah Strong was the pink one, and then there's
Aw,
627.
of course she was.
Stitch when he has some anger issues, of course.
So like it's really funny because actually like the grand finale was Leroy and Stitch, which was like oh, they made one after Stitch, and they have this throwaway joke where they're like, oh wow, so you made like 627, and he goes, actually this one's 628. We already dealt with 627 because there was one episode in which they used the same premise.
Yeah. And then so he couldn't call 627 and come up with a name, and he kept like going through names of ones that had already been.
Yes, and then while I was researching this, I actually came across the wiki.
The dog! Myrtle's evil dog!
That's right,
Oh,
it's
please, I
actually an
forgot.
experiment. But I went through a website, and they actually have a
Oh,
website
yeah.
of all of them. Yeah. Bad ones.
Wait, all 628.
All 628, and a lot of them, I don't think that it's canon per se, because as I clicked
I
on
think
some of
they
them,
just mentioned some of them.
their art was like MS Paint, so like, but like, there's some bad ones.
The names are canon, because at the end of Leroy and Stitch in the credits, they named all of them in the credits.
Oh, wow.
That's so good.
But yeah, it's,
So good.
the show was just like my childhood.
Oh my god, the baby one. It turned everyone into babies.
Yeah.
They had it work in like a nursing home, and then it was weird.
Whoa. Oh my god.
Wait,
I remember
kind of
that.
messed up.
Now beating Pokemon. It's just
I went into a pound and turned all the dogs like puppies.
Yes, you're right. Okay, that's
what it did. It's found its purpose like going 2 pounds and turned all the dogs into little
oh, okay.
That's cute.
I thought it was weird for a second.
No,
That's
all
okay.
it does is cute. It just goes to a pound of cutified.
That was through highs.
Oh yeah,
That's
that's
like
right.
all it did.
And there was like some that like never found their true home, which were like this ones are called Bonnie and Clyde, and they just stole shit. And this one had like a legit gun, and they went to jail. Like Layla's like, no, you're going to jail.
I think about the home.
No, I love because you were reading off like a bunch of the weird ones that weren't really like. I assume it was like something that 625 was like listing them off and like saying what they did. Because you had them and they're like, and this is this number, and they were created because Jumba didn't want to do this.
Oh yeah, because someone has like purpose to move things around Jumba's office.
Yeah, they had like stupid reasons to annoy Jumba's neighbors.
Yeah, there was one that was actually just to make annoying noises to annoy Jumba's neighbors.
Is there an experiment equivalent to passing fodder?
Yes, definitely.
So yes, this is our last slide. So we have about 5 minutes remaining. So I guess we're just going to open the floor to just Lilo and Stitch like specifically, so it can get its time in all of our hearts, but like also anything else. I'm going to go this way.
Despite the fact that Jumbo was supposed to be reformed and good, he still made 2 more hyper evil experiments that were worse than Stitch.
So like, okay,
So
627 he made because Stitch was being like a dick. Like was like, oh, I'm the best ever. Like no one's better than me. Jim was like, oh yeah.
So he was red and had 6 arms, and that really thought he was better.
That's how you get better. You have more arms.
So 2 things. Logan and me realized, was this just them Disney trying to compete against Pokemon?
No, this was good
This
on its own.
This won out over Pokemon for me. Like I was way more into this than I was into
Also,
Pokemon.
Cameron, you lied to me. You promised me Veggie Tales the Final Frontier.
What?
But then, and
The SS Apple Pies.
this was the perfect opportunity to bring back an old star from the show. We saw it on that screen again.
Old Star
No.
Hey, Joe, what's up?
I'm on Never Left
How about the
Details.
one? How about the one that Jimbo specifically made to be a complete jerko? Like the one that would literally go and watch a movie and spoil everybody else.
I don't remember this
You
one.
don't remember this one?
No, I don't remember
The
this
one that was that was basically act like the It's such a metaphorical and evil uncle.
Oh my god.
No, like literally all he does is supposed to make people angry. That's all he is. He has no superpower or ability to kill people. All he's supposed to do is be a jerk.
Sounds like an experiment. But yeah,
I don't know. It was a weird episode. That was a
Yeah.
modern one. I like the Live Tech episode.
So that is Brain Blast to the Past. Hope you all enjoyed this trip down nostalgia lane, and maybe one of you figured out that a fever dream you had was actually a thing that someone thought of and put on television for some reason.
That's what we're here for.
All right, thanks everybody for showing up to our first mission. It ran pretty long, but I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to mingle for 3 minutes, and then you gotta go.
You don't have to leave, but you
Yes,
want
I
to room? Wait, yeah, we will.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah, I reserved it for longer.
Okay,
but
so yeah, hey, you guys.
you can stay if you want. We can't make you leave.
It's be back there. Mr. Tulio.
Over here.
Membership.
So we're good. I never watched Muppet Babies. I watched a lot of Rugrats stuff. I love Tommy Pickles. Like, he was my hero. His hair was purple eventually. Like his dad. That was cool. Why though? No, I don't remember it at all. I remember like I remember the Jewish related ones that we watched those. And he would be like, hey, here's this one thing that, like, here, that'll explain it. I'm like, I know now.
We started to stick to, was that a, that was a.
I don't know if I realized that.
I think it was that episode to make sure you know the term of soup. Basically, the one was made from
That was French. Obviously, we could only do like shows that we
Oh, hey, let's stop the live stream.
I think it's a little bit earlier.
Tip your waitresses.